All right. I've got to start on Eunos' side, so
Right away, we've got a sword in the sword cave. Normal start screen, but no extra candles.
a Link versus Link matchup. Eunos going with the looks like dark gray or blue Link, and I believe JSR is a custom colored Link Wales. I think that's a slightly different shade of green than I'm used to seeing.
Looks like
Oh,
dungeon green.
second quest, Overworld.
Vanilla second quest overworld at that.
Yeah, right off the bat. Uh,
Yeah, so both these guys showing off, showcasing their strategy skills here. It's really, especially when you have the sword at the starting cave. It's one of those things you can really use to determine how this seed's going to work out for you by scrolling over to level 3 real quick just to see if that's a first or a second quest level 3. As we see, Unos gets a bomb off the levers, meaning that we do have shuffled drop groups.
yeah, and a slightly expensive blue candle we saw, 69 rupees.
And this should be level 3. And it doesn't look like we've got shuffled pallets either. It's this is the normal level 3 color lever. Wow. Lever level.
Has anything taken more than one hit so far? I was watching Eunos take down those levers.
It doesn't appear so. It's still a little bit early. Definitely 0 HP bosses, unless this is shuffled to 0.
Looks like we've got some sort of banana on JSR's side here in level 3. It's like it's the wooden boomerang. The color palette was slightly difficult.
Yeah, both opting to pass it up, which is interesting because this does appear to be 0 HP and can be useful, but both choosing to pass that up. So also interesting is that if that was level 3, that level 3 does not normally have the master room. That was the master room from level 2 that got shuffled into level 3. So my assumption here is that we do actually have randomized dungeon rooms.
All right.
Ooh, and bombs all over the place from the red Octoroks as well.
So some very favorable drop groups thus far, at least on the overworld.
And it does look like we've got vanilla dungeons here as well.
And just judging from the last time we saw there's the white sword. Judging from the last time we saw Eunos in a vanilla 0 HP seed, we could be looking at a situation like pointed out in chat by Loud Goat where he actively avoids heart containers.
Yeah, and it's wow, interesting. Okay, so first off, these guys were in sync getting the white sword and opening, which was pretty interesting. And second, the meat guy being in level 1 means that we will never need meat in this seed. That is a big indicator for these guys. And both are going to be key blocked out of level 1, unfortunately.
Right.
I'm still amazed by that sync. I mean, it was literally frame for frame.
Frame
almost.
for frame, yes.
That is one of those things you love seeing whenever you rewatch these seeds.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure both of them will be amused by that at a later time. But now we've got a slight diversion in paths.
Yeah, only slightly. I think JSR is doing the same thing. He just took the time to clear that diamond room in hopes that he might find a drop, which unfortunately is not the case. I don't know of any diamond room that will drop something from killing enemies.
We did see the power bracelet is the Armos item in the normal Armos location. So, but we know that the overworld items. I mean, the white sword was shuffled. I guess the Armos and the coast item are different. Are a different flag than the white sword, though. Aren't
That is correct.
Okay.
Yuno's going to pop into level 5, which again, with our vanilla overworld here, it's pretty limited on what options these guys will have for dungeons. As you're going to need to get a hold of the recorder, power bracelet, ladder, and a candle in order, and the raft, yes. All 5 items in order to access all the dungeons. So, looks like the play is going to be finding a candle at this point as ladder blocks of lore in levels 5 here.
We do have standard dungeon shapes, though. As that is the normal look of level 5. Although I wonder if, as I know when it's the second quest, it kind of mixes up what dungeon is actually which. Can you make it to the spot to first quest level 4 with the recorder in the second quest without the raft?
That's a great question. And you might be able to, because it's technically level 4's Triforce that because what happens is they shuffle it back to the way that it should be. So while level 4 is normally where level 5 just was on this, level 4 is coded to be where the raft spot is, so it's not possible to use the recorder to get over there. Which is why in the randomizer we see them flop from where they actually are in second quest, because they're going to their original coded spot. And Eunos using his patented money-making game hack trick here, fails it the second time, but does get 50 rupees on the first go.
Oh, net's 10 thus far, and he did find the white sword item, which was just a heart container.
Indeed. This is something that's going to give Eunos a little bit of an edge, because he knows how to manipulate this money-making game and gets the money for the rupees right off. Was JSR would have to either get some bombs or go to the northeast to get the rupees for that.
Like, we were talking about it in the Discord channel before the race started. All the little things that Eunos does over the course of a run, that by the end of it, it adds up to a pretty large amount.
Yeah, I remember watching his stream when he was doing that. He spent like 4 hours going frame by frame on what the secrets would end up being, and figured out how to manipulate it just right to make sure that he could do that. And so that that's just the kind of effort and skill he's put into this game by himself. There's so many things that he's come up with in order to better the game overall.
Yeah, he is currently slightly out of bounds, walking into a cave from off the screen.
Yeah, Eunos being a little bit tricky and slick here with the HUD clips.
And the coast item was the bow.
And actually, another interesting thing that's slightly off topic, but in chat we have somebody named Fiskbit, who has actually taken the time to create a LUA script for this game that will show you where everything is at, including in the HUD for collision detection. It's incredibly cool to check out. That it kind of lets you learn how to do the HUD clips and stuff if you haven't ever learned where all the blocks and stuff are at.
We have a death on Eunos' side. The refusal to pick up any heart containers. That is the one small possible downside of it, is he is in level 8 now.
Yeah, the three heart containers is a gamble. But if you stick at 3, you should be okay. We did see him last time he did this get the 4th on accident, and I almost thought that he was going to take the time to reset, but unfortunately did not. Meanwhile, JSR is in level 5, finding the same problem that Eunos had, that it's a ladder block, but or rather ladder blocked and recorder blocked, so he's going to have to go find a candle and make his way to level 8.
Eunos taking a staircase and finding it's just a simple transport to another portion of level 8.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Eunos, ooh, that Goma does not sit well. I mean, obviously not the ladder, but still.
Yeah.
Eunos trying to get this dark nut up here so that he can use the shutter door key trick, and unfortunately sorts him on accident.
It says, "What a jerk," he says after vanquishing that dark nut.
So JSR back in level 3.
Mm-hmm.
My assumption here is he is fishing for a key so that he could get himself into level 1.
It really has to be, unless he's made some sort of gross miscalculation early on in the race, which I don't suspect to be the case. Then yeah, he is just looking for a key at this point. And his complete eradication of some of these rooms would suggest that is the case.
And this has been a brutal seed for keys thus far. You know, and the logic, you know, is going to say that you should be able to get a key somewhere. And Eunos doing this clip kind of breaks that logic, but we'll see if it actually leads to anywhere for him.
Oh, and he makes it through. Hearing the lesson from old man Tom Hanks, there's no crying in Zelda.
And JSR is still looking for that key. Key's just not being friendly. And I mean, that's got to be the thing that you do is find a key, because the only other option is to go into level 8, which appears to be key blocked in and of itself. So it's kind of an interesting predicament that they have here.
Yeah, once you get back past that key block, though, you get a couple keys.
Oh, the shoot room! Oh, JSR is just, he's almost in rage mode right now. Just one key. Just give me one key. And then he gets
trying to will it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, this room is never going to drop a key. This is a no-drop room in the entirety of everything. So level 3 just not netting keys, which is super odd. He gets a heart container, which is, I don't think, what he was looking for.
He is one that does put him one step closer to picking up that white sword item that is another heart container.
Yeah, I mean, not really what these guys are looking for. It's unfortunate that it's the heart container. It's nice that the bow's on the coast, but you know, again, that may or may not be required. We did see earlier random effect, and his seed didn't have the bow or the silver arrows, and you know, cannon wasn't required, and it worked out. And I think JSR is almost full cleared level 3 and has still not found a key.
And at this point, he's incredibly committed to it.
What's there being one in the circle?
If there's one in the middle of inside the moat, this is troll randomizer seed confirmed.
He's just checking it up. There isn't one. He's cracking up. He threw some bombs out there and everything. Oh, this is terrible. And he can't get to the other room because it's key blocked. There is no keys available in level 3. That is unreal.
In order to get to level 2, you need the recorder. In order to get to, let's see, level 6, you need the recorder as well, do you not?
No, level 6
or is it just a push? Or is it just a push block?
Level 6 is recorder blocked, yes.
Okay.
It's the one in the grave.
I'm trying to think of where they could, places they could go at this point, but you need the ladder to get to 7. You need the, so 8 is really about the only option he has. They've already tried 5, and we were ladder blocked out of it. Leads you to think that you're going to find something in 8 to unlock the rest of this seed.
But I think it turns out Eunos was ladder blocked in 8. Because he left and came back to level 1. And oh no, if there's not a key drop in this room. Okay, fortunately there it is. Oh, that is horrible. So, wow. Yeah, I mean, like, you have to assume that there is a recorder, a raft, or a ladder in level 1 at this point, as the seed has pretty much shoehorned them into that.
Gets another
Chevy route.
Oh, yeah.
And this, folks, is why randomized dungeon rooms, even in Vanilla Quest, can suck a lot. Welcome to what it's like to play a Maelstrom seed.
Yeah. Trying to find a way up without using that key Not having any success thus far.
I wisely take the middle route. And JSR finding himself some rupees to go buy that candle, which at this point he's got to realize I need to go to level 8. But even then, Eunos did not find a key until he used the key clip. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure where these guys were supposed to get a key.
The interesting thing that that small secret he found, only having 8 rupees, still just it left him just with the exact amount he needed in order to purchase a candle. Now he's just got to get back around to a candle shop. I know he's seen one, just whether or not he has.
Man, and Eunos having to use his last key to get to the east side of this dungeon because both drops are over there.
We have found one of the items thus far in level. He's rewarded with a key at least to get further to the east. But we found the white sword in early on in one, and we're about to see if we can find.
There it is.
Item. I believe you're slightly ahead of me, HN. And yes, the sigh of relief from Eunos.
Yeah, ladder is an interesting item to find. It gives you the bow, and it unlocks level 8. Also unlocks level 5, and it will also unlock level 7. So lots of options now for where to go.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, on JSR's side, he entered a shop that had the book in it.
Interesting. So Boomstick is active.
I don't know that we'll see it with this being Second Quest Overworld. There's only one large secret. It's going to be, tough to scrounge up all the rupees. Although if it's the vanilla Overworld, you can avoid the door repairs, I suppose.
Yeah, and it is possible for that to be 150 rupees, and it's also possible that could be 50 rupees. It's a pretty wide variance that it can be, but it'll depend. I mean, if they need to pick up arrows, or they don't need meat, but they could need arrows still. There's a lot of different options. Yeah. And you got to find the wand.
And a smart play on Eunos' end, having found the ladder, goes straight to the dungeon that is ladder blocked, or not ladder. That ladder is required to enter. Figuring if this is the advantage I have, this is the place I need to go to try to widen that lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, JSR is still trying to figure out where to go to get a key. At this point, you got to think, unfortunately, that he's just going to buy one. Seems to be the right play.
Yeah, I hate to see people have to purchase a key, but you got to do what you got to do in this situation. Eunos going into a staircase and finding the raft in level 7. So that will at least get him to another dungeon.
And JSR does find his candle purchase, so he is going to make his way to level 8. And we'll see if he can do some fancy maneuvers like Eunos.
You'll need to pick up a heart somewhere along the way, probably, because it's kind of difficult to pull that off with Dark Nuts without the beam sword.
Yeah, that is true. We do see a bomb upgrade, which is 94 rupees, so those are shuffled. Again, money being an issue, we'll see if that ever comes into play.
Yeah. With combat not being an issue, really bombs primary, almost only use in this situation will be excavation. So, a death on JSR's side. Unfortunate, but it's early in the dungeon.
Yeah, the same room that Eunos took a death in. It's bunnies are always fun when you walk in the room and it's like, surprise!
And right there we see, he does pick up hearts, but we see why Eunos chooses to stay at 3 hearts, because after a death or an up and A, whatever, he always has full health and has his beam sword right, ready and at his command. And with the white sword item being the heart container, he knows that he doesn't have to try to make a play for it, because it's not any sort of item that he will need in order to complete.
Yes, that is correct. I wonder how much longer JSR is going to be able to hold out without a key drop.
My guess is this room right here.
And he doesn't use the thing, and I'm pretty sure that Eunos did not find a key until he got through that door.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, he had 2. He got 2. A feat of strength will lead to the magic shield. That leads me to believe that that would be level 5's item.
I believe so. So that's a good hint. Meaning
Because that tells him all sorts of things.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if he's thinking about it, it lets him know that this is a boomstick seed. Not that I think that he would be gunning for that, although it can pay dividends in level 9, as we saw in the race between Darkwing Duck and JamEvil.
Yeah, JSR running into the key block, throwing his hand in the air like, what am I supposed to do? I cannot access any other dungeon. It's impossible. Like, it's brutal, too, because, I mean, as far as I know, the logic never requires you to purchase a key, but in this case, I think there was one key that they could get in 3, and if you used it, you're just shoehorned into buying a key. There's no way around it, as 5 is ladder blocked, 8 is key blocked, and 1 is key blocked.
It's technically there's a way around it, and I don't know if the game is built in such a way. Maybe a question for Fred, that there should be a way around it without cheating the system, so to speak. But
yeah, this is just one of those.
Or is buying a key the way that, or is buying a key the game's intended way around this issue? I don't know.
I don't know. This is a pretty rare outlier where this is the type of thing. I mean, there have been seeds where we have to buy keys, but I don't think it's explicitly in the logic. I think there's a way around it. You just have to make sure you use your keys properly, and you're not going to know to do that if you're not a mind reader. You can't tell what the seed's going to do.
Yeah. Eunos, unfortunately, finding himself finding an old man 1 room south of the Triforce, trying to find his way around to pick up the Triforce in 7. It's going to cost him a key, but he will be able to get there.
Yeah, and JSR does purchase a key, but at the cost of the large secret. So I'm sure he's going to head to 1. He'll find that ladder, but unfortunately at this point, about a good, I would say 8 to 10 minutes behind Eunos.
Oh, at least I would say.
No, he's going to make his way to level 8. Oh, man, he will get some more keys, but he's going to find that he's not going to be able to do anything there.
It will feel like the right play early on, and then he will discover that it was not the correct play. There's some dynamite observations there, I understand, but it's the way that Eunos went, and Eunos did spend quite a bit of time in level 8 finding that out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have already found 1 item in level 1, but you have to think about the fact that 1 generally drops lots of keys, so you would think you'd want to go there, but go to make the gamble on level 8. Hopefully he takes this key door right out of the staircase, because that's where he needs to go to get a couple of keys.
Yeah. We don't know what lies in other directions, and we see Manhandla threatens with the boomerang on Eunos' side, which is a true statement. Boomerang was in level 3. And now, talking about all these key troubles, Eunos now has 6 over on the other side.
Just racking them up.
I mean, they'll be gone in no time, I'm sure. But
I wish you guys could see JSR's camera. Because it is priceless.
He is, he is quite animated at the moment, to say the least.
And then he sees the shoot room. It's so good. Anyway, he had some expletives, but he's like, "It's a key! They exist!"
Okay.
JSR does find his 2 keys. I'm sure he's happy about that. Unfortunately, I think he's going to find the same thing that Eunos had, which is a ladder block that keeps you from going anywhere here. And Eunos...
Huh? Oh, wait. That is an interesting one. Let's see what he's thinking.
Already knows that it's a large shield.
He found it. He visually saw the magical shield. He did go pick up a key. Who am I to doubt Eunos?
Looks like he had a little bit of a brain fart and just filled it in. He was looking for the item and then remembered he saw the shield.
And he did manage to pick up an extra key for his troubles, so even when he's not lucky, he's lucky.
Yeah, and it's gonna head where the logic says, which is level 4 here, to see what we can find.
And again, being able to up an A at any time and have his full health with his beam sword. When your combat and evasion is as good as Eunos's is, it's invaluable to be able to do that.
No doubt at all. Yeah, I mean, he got the low % record in first and second class. The guy's a monster. I mean, he's so good at Zelda. It's pretty sickening. And meanwhile, JSR trying to figure out what's going on here in level 8. I think realizing that he cannot make it anywhere at this current time. And it looks like one of the items might actually be Goma blocked as well, which will be interesting to see if they ever check that item and if it might be silver arrows.
Yeah. Very well could be.
He has the 1 key left that Eunos has, so we know he checked the same exact rooms.
Yeah.
I want to see his reaction when he gets into that second room in level 1 and sees it's a key door.
Oh, man.
Fortunately, things only go up from here.
Yeah. It opens up a little bit once you get the ladder in 1. Or at least best we can tell.
Oh, man! Silver's in 4!
Oh! He did go ahead and pick up the bow already, did he not?
He does not have the bow yet.
Oh, okay. But I'm sure he knows of its location, so.
Oh boy, and the Triforce in the room directly to the right.
That's a quick in and out level 4.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume at this point he's going to go pick up that bow and head back to level 8 with a World Wrap. It seems like the logical course of action. Or going to prove me wrong. That's cool too.
The answer with Eunos is always up an A.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just figured he'd go World Wrap, but this way works too. You know, if you can left or right screen scroll fast.
Oh. JSR is finding the dilemma of 2 different key doors that he can choose. And fortunately, it looks like he's chosen the correct one. Now he's just got to find the ladder.
Yes, indeed. And I forgot that Eunos can HUD clip, so who needs to World Wrap when you can HUD clip?
Makes getting through the levels 2 and 8 woods a lot easier.
Chooses to not pull a Dragon Dark and buy the wooden arrows. And yeah, it looks like at this point that it's a pretty commanding lead for Eunos. Finding that ladder super early by making the choice to head over to 1 and being able to do that key clip really has made what is like over a 10-minute gap at this point. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty wide lead for Eunos, and it's just getting larger at this point because he now has, I mean, you gotta think he has everything he needs at this point, outside of the Triforces. He's heading back into 8. He did not pick up the Triforce there.
He does need a recorder.
Oh, that's right, recorder.
So you have to think that he's gonna look in here because
Well, 2 and 6.
2 and 6 are blocked, so it
Yeah.
has to be in here. And it will be very interesting to see if it is in fact bow blocked underneath that Goma staircase. That would be quite interesting.
Be a very large chain reaction.
But it can't be. I'm sorry. There's a shutter
First...
door here.
Oh, okay. I'll say it's definitely the first place he was heading.
Ooh, we have shuffled boss HP.
And another key.
Thanks, old man. Super helpful. So we do have a ladder get on JSR's side, which means he will most likely be making his way towards level 7, just as Eunos did, as Eunos finds the recorder.
Right, so... that down for sure now.
So that means Eunos has found all 5 items: the power bracelet, the raft, the ladder, the recorder, and the bow, along with the silver arrows. Like, he does not need anything else. This is get the Triforces and get the heck out.
Not even gonna bother to see what the other item is. It seems to be of no concern to him.
So, one of those things to kind of highlight here, and the trick that Eunos did is never required by Randomizer. Neither is screen scrolling, HUD clipping, block clipping. None of that stuff is ever required, but as shown here, it can make a gigantic difference.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like just those movements and the ability to pull those things off is really, it's the difference between someone who has 6 Triforces right now and someone who has 2. You know, a huge difference. So anytime you like think it's a, could it really make that much of a difference to be able to pull off this neat looking little party trick? Yes, it can be. It can make a huge difference, especially in these randomizer seeds. Things can start to fall like dominoes, as we have seen with the ladder to the raft to the onto the silver arrows.
Yeah, it's especially with these, and it happens a lot with the vanilla second quest overworld, right? It's almost inevitable that it's going to be some sort of chain seed due to the way that it's created, with you needing all of those items in order to even get access to all the dungeons. So at some point, at the beginning of the game, unless there's a free recorder or whatnot, you can only get to level 3 and level 1. Those are the only 2 that you can get access to. If you can find a power bracelet, you get 1 more. A recorder, you get 2 more. But that's just the way that it goes. It's going to be some sort of chain at some point. And JSR over here in, I believe, what is level 7, going full camo mode. And
Eunos was looking just about as frustrated with level 2 as anyone that has almost everything that they need 33 minutes into a seed could possibly look.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but he knows he's racing JSR, right? So
Yeah.
Fantastic racer as well. Every second counts, and when you full clear one side of 2 and then find out that it's halfway down the other side, it's a little bit frustrating. Not as frustrating as not being able to find a key in 3 dungeons, but
It looks like we have picked up the viewers from the race between Seawolf and Adirondack Rick over from JamEvil's channel. Welcome to all of you who watched, I believe, Adirondack Rick emerge victorious in that race, advancing to 2-1.
yeah, congratulations to Rick.
For those of you who are just bouncing in, we have a vanilla second quest overworld with 0 HP enemies, and that's part of why we see Eunos with 7 Triforce pieces and everything he needs 35 minutes into this.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough seed to kind of recap the beginning. level 3 had, I believe, one key that you could get access to, and they used it to find the Triforce. Unfortunately, no other key drops available there. Level 1 was key blocked, and level 8 was key blocked. So, unfortunately, JSR had to take the time to go buy a key, while Eunos used the shutter door key trick to make his way through to get the keys required to access level 1, which gave him the ladder, which started this gigantic chain reaction, which is pretty normal on a second quest overworld like this.
We got a hint: fire the arrow to locate the wand on Eunos' side, meaning that bow blocked was the magic wand somewhere, and the magic wand did have a little bit of added value somewhat in this seed, because we did see a book of magic for purchase in the shop, but rupees have not been, this has not been a particularly rich seed, which certainly did not help JSR when he had to purchase the key, along with the candles not having any extra candles, candles costing more than they usually do in the vanilla game. Just a lot of things working against the players, other than the fact that it's you see it's a vanilla overworld and 0 HP enemies, you think, okay, great. Even Octoroks drop bombs, I think. After that, when you see the candle limitations and the lack of money, you start to see, and the key situation. That's where this seed is really started to bite the players a little bit and tighten things up for them.
Yeah, and the large secret, with Thor only being 1 in the second quest and only 75 rupees at that, has limited the money a little bit. Fortunately, arrows were not needed for purchase, as they were available via the silver arrows in level 4 of this seed. Eunos does find the red candle here in level 3, so probably not what he was looking for. It'd been nice to maybe find an any key or a red ring, but
yeah, I think the magical key is about the only item he's really pushing for in this situation. I mean, red ring would be great because he does play with only 3 hearts in these vanilla 0 HP seeds. But I gotta think the any key would just alleviate any concerns he might have about being able to get around in level 9.
Yeah, and it isn't. Man, sorry, words are hard. It is important to point out that we do have shuffled drop groups, and I'm not quite sure what in the Wizard group drops bombs yet. We know, I think that Red Octoroks and some Moblins drop bombs, but I'm not quite sure what dungeon enemies drop.
As well.
Yeah, and the levers. But as far as like actual dungeon enemies, I don't know that I have seen one drop a bomb yet.
One of the Dark Nuts dropped bombs, I'm pretty sure. But it may have just been a lot of room drops, because there have been a ton of room drops in this seed that were bombs.
So Eunos already on to level 9 to 38 minutes.
That sounds like an any percent run he'd be resetting right about now.
Yes, indeed. And JSR picks up his 4th Triforce. Again, just it's that the key situation and the key clip has absolutely made the entire difference. Because JSR had to go find the money to buy a key, and it took quite a bit of time, and he also spent all the time clearing level 3 looking for a key to come up empty-handed. So if you're looking at the time difference, that's where it's at right now.
Yeah, and when he went and purchased that key, he went and used the key in level 8 instead of level 1, where he would have found the ladder. Instead, he used the key in level 8, only to find a couple more keys, and that he could not progress.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, and again, it's super rare to see a seed like this where early on keys become such a problem, but that just happened to be the case this time.
Gonna bump up a little bit on my end just so I can hear a little bit of what's going on Eunos' side. See, maybe get some ears on Ganon.
It is going to take staircases to avoid keys. I don't say that I disagree with this play right now.
Yeah, early on in level 9, maybe kind of get a little bit of a feel for where the staircases go and see how much you can explore without using those keys. Absolutely, I think it's
GG!
Well,
that came on
never mind.
Eunos has finished with a first place time of 39 minutes and 53 seconds. Wow.
Easy every time, right?
JSR just shaking his head like, what is going on? Damn, what a run by Eunos.
This is Eunos' third race, all three finishing in under 50 minutes. It is his second sub 40 because he almost finished one sub 30 in the first round.
Yeah, I'd say I wouldn't want to race him, but he did lose one.
Yeah, so it's like 3 amazing times, and he's only 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fantastic understanding, again, of the flags and the ability to use a lot of the new tech that's come out. I mean, he's probably one of the few that utilizes HUD scrolling, and that didn't save a lot of time, but it did save some time. But again, the shutter door key, I mean, that's where it's at. That is this seed in a nutshell.
And with this, and the way he found Zelda in 9, unfortunately, is not the most organic way to find Zelda, so we may be in for... It might be quite difficult, actually, to find Zelda in 9. We just don't know that yet, because Eunos just happened to go the exact right way.
Yeah. I mean, don't want to use keys, let's take a staircase. Oh, hi, Zelda!
It's like we may have Eunos joining us shortly in the commentary booth. He's trying to get set up.
And meanwhile, JSR going to make his way probably back to level 8 at this point. Seems like the wise play, as obviously I don't think he got the raft. Did he get the raft? Is in 7. He hasn't taken the time to go to 7 yet. So the play here is level 8, which will have the recorder.
One death in that race for good measure for Eunos, as we're seeing on his screen now.
As JSR goes through the exact room that he died in. Congratulations, Eunos.
Thanks.
I expect that your comment is going to be Kananaki.
The keys were a big deal.
That is what decided this race.
Yeah, not even... Yeah.
I actually... I don't know. I was concerned JSR is he's quite good at the game, so it depended on his understanding of the flags. But like, if he goes into 3 and he goes and instead of getting the Triforce right away, picks up keys. I was worried that he'd be way
as
better
much as he could. There were no key drops.
Oh,
he full cleared 3 for keys, found the key block in 8, had the key block in 1, and had to go get the large secret, which was only 75 to buy a key because he could not find a key anywhere else.
Oh my goodness.
That's why, literally, this race was the Kananaki. That is the complete time difference.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, because after he bought the key, after he bought that key, he took that key to 8 and just found himself finding a couple more keys and then unable to progress. And so he wound up having to go to 1 of the... I guess if he'd gone to 1 first and found the ladder behind the key block, may have been able to pick up some of that time. But yeah, just a huge time loss in that one move you made.
Yeah, I was really thinking about going back to level 3 to dig up keys just so I could do level 1 and get whatever important item had to be in there.
Yeah, no keys available. I think there was, 1 key drop, and that let you get to the Triforce. And then, yeah, he literally cleared every other room. He even cleared the circular river room just to prove that it wasn't a key, and there were no keys. I mean, by the time he was getting through it, he was pretty upset. He's just like, I want 1 key drop!
Man.
But yeah, congratulations. Moving on to 2-1, which is kind of the new kill group.
Yeah, the format's shaping up to be pretty fun in these later round matchups. You knew not everybody could go 3-0.
Yeah, Swiss doing exactly what Swiss should do, and it's cool to see people getting matched up with people that are of similar skill level, and it's a lot of fun. Makes really great matches.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you have any overall thoughts about that seed? As we watch JSR get the second Triforce?
Yeah, I was thinking as I'm like, it's vanilla overworld second quest. Dungeon shapes are normal. The dungeon drops are normal, but it's mixed rooms. So like rooms are shuffling between the dungeons, and I'm thinking for as few flags are different, this is a real noodle scratcher. Like, so it just shows that the randomizer, even a few flags can really make a seed difficult.
Yeah, I mean, this is why Maelstrom was so hard, right? Because you get the randomized dungeon rooms with regular dungeons, and you can get the river or the blocks. Like there was a Chevy room in one, and all these things that can happen in dungeons that don't normally happen, and you can get all the rooms shuffled in that don't have any drops at all.
Right.
And so yeah, it's I don't know. It was fun for us to watch, in the fact that it was torturous for you guys, obviously. But it's just a brutal beginning that no keys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it's gonna keep serving up these vanilla overworld 0 HP seeds to Eunos, there has to be something about it that's a little screwy, just to keep it interesting.
I agree. I'm still waiting for the mixed HP and all that jazz to happen to Eunos. It'll be the knockout round to get the swordless blackout shape seed or something like that.
Swordless against Jake Oper.
Man.
Yeah. And we had a discussion about that. Apparently, I was incorrect in my assumption. Shapes is an innate 50% chance, no matter what. It overrides the quest.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a 50% chance of that. So there's a 25% right off the bat chance of Shapes blackout in every seed. So have fun, my friends. Including myself, because I will be there.
Oh, buddy.
So, yeah, don't... Be careful what you wish for there, HN.
I like Blackout, and I love Swordless, so I have no problems with it. But
I
it can
keep
still
forgetting.
be super frustrating.
I keep forgetting you're both a sadist and a masochist when it comes to this game.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you get shuffled drop groups with that stuff, that's when it really becomes bad, because you have to figure out what drops things, and depending on the other settings, it can just be extremely hard to figure out where to get bombs. And then Blackout, that is the most important thing, because it lets you determine room configurations and things like that. And shapes, you need them to get around too. So JSR making his way through 6, going to find the Triforce here very shortly. We'll see how quickly he gets through 9. That was a fantastic 9, turning out that avoiding keys was the right call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll make the same play, but it's just not the natural course. Long and winding 9 for someone who plays it the quote-unquote right way.
Yeah, JSR unfortunately took a sideways bop from a blue as robe and took a death there, so going to have to make his way back through 6.
The 6 was like the final, well, not for me, it was the final, like, another pain in the butt level, where this one, it's like, oh, why don't you just go ahead and practically full clear the thing, because all, vanilla 6 doesn't have a whole lot of vertical bomb or horizontal bomb walls, so it blocked all the horizontal paths that would have made it convenient. But I'm sure that we might be in store for quite a level 9.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting for sure. And JSR finds the red candle room here.
I'll let you guys do your thing.
It's really interesting because you guys had the same amount of keys and bombs leaving level 8, because you checked the same exact rooms. Went to level 1. He had that, like, don't do this to me, please give me a key drop face as you entered into the keys room with the second key door. That would have been like the icing on the cake if that room did not drop a key. But JSR again playing this to the best of his ability. There's, with the lack of key drops, there's really nothing that could be done. You just don't anticipate having a key drop like that. So if anything should be learned from this is that JSR should never create seeds again.
It is sort of a long and winding path to the Triforce in 6, especially if you don't know quite where it is at first.
Yeah, and luckily not going through those key doors, you should run into the Triforce here pretty quick.
Yeah, it's down one and right. Yeah, they'll just have to open that room. He just didn't have the. Oh, nope, he's not going in there though. He doesn't have the compass, so he doesn't know that that's the room and doesn't want to spend a key when there are still other places to explore.
Oh, he's gonna backtrack. Unfortunately, that's one of those bad symptoms of wanting to reserve keys that can cost you a lot of time.
Currently trying to figure which way is up so that he can get there here in this dungeon. One room away from picking up the Triforce, and unfortunately made the economical play not to spend a key. Has spent 2 bombs in the meantime trying to uncover things, but those are more easily acquired and cheaper in the shops as well. I can't remember where, because I know Eunice had the compass.
Yeah, I believe it was in the room that he just left, the shutter door to the south. And, you know, he made the economical choice. There were 5 rooms available over here through this key door, and unfortunately, just not going to be the correct choice.
Yeah.
So I think he's got 2 or 3 options left, and he's going to have to burn a key. Actually, he has a singular option. He is full cleared 6 outside of the Triforce room at this point. That is the worst feeling in the world when you full clear a dungeon.
Every
He's just
time
shaking his head.
Every time he makes a turn and finds something other than the Triforce room, he just starts to. And now he's gonna look at his map and realize seems to be cracking up about it a little bit at least. He's keeping good spirits through his controlled disappointment in how he's playing this scene at least.
He has learned to control the inner putts.
Not everyone can do that.
Yeah, this is just one of those seeds that's really frustrating because there's nothing you could do about it. It's just, do you get lucky finding the correct route in the dungeon? You know, getting the key again. Like, there were no options for the key, so technically he did what the seed required him to do, which was to go buy a key. That's just the only way to do that, unless you bailed out of 6 and didn't use the singular key or 3 and didn't use the singular key that it gave you. Which, how on earth are you supposed to know that?
Yeah.
Getting indicators that the Rob Draven Zardia match has got a crazy level 9. I'm gonna have to go check that bot out.
Yeah, that one should be a good one for your. Make sure you pack a lunch though. Apparently, it took Zara was almost in there for an hour.
Wow. I actually have not done any stats on the previous 14 races. I've been slacking real hard. It gets really hard to keep up on VODs on the weekend, so. Yeah, especially when I don't want to spend 6 or 7 hours going through seed. So we'll see if I keep up on that or not. Yeah,
you really got to get eliminated from this so that you can dedicate more time to it.
Right. Unfortunately, I'm stuck into the next round. What am I going to do? You know, stats coming January 2020.
By the start of the next tournament.
Yeah, and I think Fred said something about the ability to maybe be able to. To generate a thing to say what flags are on, and if that's on, what I'm doing is kind of a moot point. And so, but anyways, I mean, the reason why I'm doing it is because it's interesting to see how flags, compare to each other, and we have learned a few things overall, like that 0 HP enemies is indeed 50% chance for bosses, as well as normal overworld enemies. Cave shuffle is pretty much going to be pretty high, just because mixed quest auto forces cave shuffle. The interesting one for me, though, is the fact that old men do not seem to be shuffled out of 5 and 7 very often, and I'm not sure why that is, but it's like 65 or 70% that they're always in 5 or 7.
Just being able to find any sort of correlation of it connecting to another flag in any way, shape, or form.
Right, and then again, it's a small sample size, and we haven't seen all of them, but the times we have seen the Life or Money rooms, it's only been shuffled like 25% of the time, which is maybe a symptom of a small sample size, but there's just a cool few things like that that are in the stats. All right, so
JSR
we'll see.
has gone up and taking the key usage route.
Yeah, we'll see if he can continue to go up, as that is the way he needs to go along this right-hand side here. Ooh, Souls drop bombs. That is nice. And it looks, unless that staircase is in fact completely blocked, he's getting pretty close.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't notice exactly where Zelda was, so...
The
Yes.
very northeast corner.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like he's, well, maybe.
bomb work?
You'd have to get through Patra.
Mm.
And just gonna nope on out of that one. Patra's everywhere, man.
And now he's going left. And, of course, there are more Patras. As we saw with Eunos.
Yeah, unfortunately not taking that same path, so we'll see how long it takes him to find Zelda here. Eunos again having about as good of luck as you could hope for, and the bloomer in level 9.
Took all 9 dungeons to find the best weapon in the 0 HP seed.
Right. This is the staircase. If he takes this, oh no, he does not. That is the staircase.
Okay, I gotta get ahead a little bit here. Oh yeah, so he went down in it and then changed his mind. Okay,
Unfortunately, he's not running short of bombs or keys, as 9 is being pretty polite to him in that matter, but we'll see if another staircase makes its way up towards the northeast section of the dungeon, as Eunos did not try to bomb out of either of the available walls for there, and chooses to take this staircase, ironically, instead of the other one, and this one actually spits him right next to Zelda as well, so it should be to the left and up, but he cannot get out. He can go down.
see if he can work his way around, perhaps. But
yeah, so apparently I was incorrect. She is in the second column from the right, not the third column. Oh, yep, and it's not available.
no such luck, which is unfortunate because it's so close technically. But in theory, Zelda's really close by, but in practice, could not be farther away.
Yeah, it's the unfortunate symptom of her being in her room and vanilla level 9 in general, as there are limited bomb walls, and in vanilla level 9 you are required to take staircases to get around, and that holds true in randomizer most of the time with vanilla seeds like this.
Yeah.
And also, interestingly, chooses to not take that staircase either, so kind of taking the every other one approach, and unfortunately just manages to miss the correct one for Zelda.
So while we don't necessarily have confirmation that it's a magic staircase, there certainly is a very correct one, at the least.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, Laz, you'll want to watch this one back. This match was pretty much decided by a Kananaki, as well as some extreme, I would say, luck in level 9, taking a staircase due to key limitations and not wanting to use keys that ended up being right underneath Zelda.
Yeah. Lots of interesting maneuvering from Eunos in this one between the like I said, the key clip. He used a lot of HUD clipping. He used the money-making game manipulation. He took staircases instead of going straight up like you would normally do in 9. Found Zelda in her room. All sorts of you can call it fortune, skill, knowing how to do it. All just a lot of things that do. I mean, it all adds up to being someone who has played as much of this game as Eunos has. You don't pull this off and not have the number of hours and just overall knowledge of this game that Eunos has. So it is luck, but it's luck that was brought about by a lot of work and a lot of skill.
Yeah, because probably, there are people who put in more hours than he has, but doing like actual things like, and I'm saying like a lot, I apologize, doing things involving understanding how the game works. Outside of him, there's very few people there's Breasticle and there's Saver that have put a lot of time into it, but Eunos has really, really put in the amount of time to find out all the little bitty things that he can. And anytime you find something, if it's not like a huge risk in a run, even if it's a frame, he's going to take it. And, that's like, we're burning a bush sooner so that we can do a clip so that we can save 7 frames, and whistling sooner on a screen so that we can clip in so that we can save frames, or being able to HUD clip, kinetic key. There's so many different things that can be utilized if you understand how the game works. And it's nice to see, like, a lot of people have been using the kinetic key. We've seen another race where that was kind of one of the deciding factors. I forget which one it was, but somebody used the kinetic key and won, and it ended up making like a 3 or 4 minute difference because the other person had to leave to find a key to finish level 1.
Yeah. Like I said, just put a ton of work in on the how and the why of some of how these things work. As someone who knows about as much as someone who just watches can know, just going into, like, just for example, going into the Discord and seeing the discussions that he and Fred and Fiskbit and others will have about things, it really goes to show how much there is that you can possibly. You think you could say there's only so much you could know about a game that has this much memory in it and was made 31 years ago. We're constantly either learning new things or being reminded of things that we didn't know were the case. It's really fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just amazing. And it's not even just this game, right? It's so many other games, like Mario, for example. We've got now it slips me the bullet bill glitch.
Yeah.
And all the different levels that you can do a bullet bill glitch, and they just found another one. One of those things where you feel like, okay, well, this game cannot possibly be any more optimized, and people are still finding ways to do things even after it seemed like everything was found. And not possible in the original game, but we just found out just recently that if you have a boomstick, you can use a boomstick with a bomb wall to do a kinetic key as well. I mean, it's just all these little bitty things that you learn about the game that were partially due to it being a randomizer, but it's fascinating.
Yeah, on the Mario thing, like I think about 2 world records ago for Darbian in Super Mario Brothers 1, people had said, okay, that's the task. It can't be, this is it.
Right. And nope. And there's still time to save. That's what's ridiculous. Yep. It's just the execution level for that game is so high. It's having to do both bullet bill glitches, fast 4-2, and then I think it's the 7. If we're talking now about the warpless, there's the level 7 bullet bill glitch too. So there's like 3 bullet bills and a fast 4-2, and trying to get all of that in one run and then not screw up anything else, where it's literally frame perfect execution. It's first of all, a tribute to the people who can do it, but it's just, again, the cool stuff that I'm sure the developers never intended that have been found in these games. It would be so cool to be able to actually talk to the people who made this game, be like, hey, look at this, and see what their reaction is. I think Zelda's biggest thing that ever found is obviously screen scrolling, as it, revolutionized the way that you route. It changes randomizer entirely for you, because you can access things in way different ways and can be so much more efficient in the way that you run the overworld.
So, just looking back a little bit at this seed, what did we not find? We did not find the wand. We did not. There's should be 3 items that we never saw.
The wand, the red ring,
and the magic key.
The magic key. All of which are fantastic items in this seed, mind you, because Boomstick is active. Keys were a major issue, and neither of them had a ring. Unfortunate set of items to not locate, but that's just kind of the way the dice rolls sometimes. And it was a fire the arrow to obtain the wand, as Eunos pointed out in chat, due to the hint, so probably in level 8 somewhere. And meanwhile, we do have the correct staircase here for JSR. He should find Zelda in the room above.
Gonna kill these fires first, though.
Mind you, the fires have shuffled HP as well, and do not tie to a white sword hit. And we do have an official end time of 106.23 for JSR. Good game to him. Man, just an unfortunate victim of circumstance, I think.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully we will be able to have a chat shortly with JSR.
We hope, anyways. Looks like he's getting ready to jump on. I've got the perfect question for him when he gets in.
All right, fire away.
JSR, welcome.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good. So I've got one question for you, and can you answer me in one word?
Sure.
What do you think the key to unlocking this seed was?
You just said it.
JSR, welcome.
All right, Eunos, did you find the magic key by any chance?
No. Sure did.
I spent no less than 20 minutes trying to find a single key.
I heard.
And I ended up having to buy a key.
Yeah. It came about to that for me. If I hadn't screwed up my second money-making game, I would have bought a key with that money.
And as soon as I bought the key, I thought about that because I knew that there was a money-making game left of Vanilla Start, and I just didn't even cross my mind until after I'd already bought a key. And at that point, I was just laughing so hard I didn't even. That was one of the trolliest seeds I think I've ever played. That was rough. That was rough, man.
As vanilla as it was.
Yeah. I mean, the combat was pretty easy. I mean, but I got key blocked in every level you could reach. Blocked in 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm glad I dug for the silvers, even though again it wasn't required because I didn't have enough money to buy arrows. So
yeah.
I mean,
that was the other thing. Is then we had to buy the arrows, but then I found those, and yeah.
So good game, man.
Yeah, good game.
And see how you handled that, because I mean, at about the 25-minute mark, I was just throwing my hands up. I didn't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, no, it was definitely it was definitely that kind of seed. There was.
That's what you get for letting me roll the seed, I guess, James.
Oh man.
Well, congratulations, man. That was awesome, dude. I'm glad I finally got a chance to get a race in with you, and good luck moving on.
You too. Yep.
Hopefully,
Just
I can
win your next race.
pull out the win.
Yep.
I have to. It's a win or go home.
Absolutely.
So,
I've got faith in you.
but, I mean, I guess it just comes down to how the seed is rolled, and with these 0 HP seeds being so common, you just gotta get lucky and hope you find the right path. And then, of course, I got trolled at 9.
I mean, the seed logic, though, you did the correct thing. Like, there was no other way, unless you bailed out of 3 with the single key that you got, to do anything other than what you did. It's just that, again, Eunos Canana-keyed in that blue Darknut room in level 8, which gave him access to the 2 keys.
I should have tried it. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that literally is, other than the level 9, which he found Zelda super quick because he didn't want to use keys, that was the entire time difference in between you guys.
No crap. I didn't even think of using it. I didn't even think about it. Well played, man. I didn't even cross my mind until you said that just now. Now I'm like kicking myself.
Yep. Shout outs to Cananaphone and RC Drone.
Right?
Yep.
Well, thanks very much. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's just one of those things in a race, especially when you'd already gone and cleared 3, and then obviously we have randomized dungeon rooms, so drops are all over the place, and not finding a key there. A lot of times it's something where it just doesn't cross your mind to do that sort of thing, because it's just you're in the moment. So I forget about it all the time, and I could save lots of time as well, and it just never crosses my mind.
But that's the things I got to keep in mind, especially if I do get into the next round, is that, you know, using the money making game to buy the arrows or buy the keys, and the shutter door trick. I didn't even think of it. You know, it's like things like that. You have to keep those in mind, because I mean, that happens, and it cost me any chance in this race. And obviously, if I don't have that kind of thing in my mind next week, and I won't be moving on. So hopefully, the next run isn't as bad. But oh man, thanks a lot, you guys. I had a lot of fun though. I appreciate Dave at the restream, you guys on the commentary, and then Eunos, of course, for the race. And good luck to all you guys in the next round.
Thanks, guys.
It was a blast, man.
Yep. Thanks to you guys,
guys.
for racing and putting on a good show.
Guaranteed, now confirmed, next round he'll be matched with the lopsided 2-1 Crystal Saber in the next round.
You're right. Yeah, that 2-1 group is going to be a little bit rough, but again, if you've got the 2 wins, you're guaranteed to be in that play-in race, and the top 8 are going to move on from that. So definitely not the end of the line, but if you do move on to the 1 and 2 group, you got to do what you can to do your best to get in there.
Yeah, I was saying JSR would be the one. There was be an odd number, and he'd be matched with the 2 and 1, and it'd wind up being Saber or somebody.
Probably, yeah. It is possible too. It's the unfortunate part of Swiss, and I hope that doesn't happen. But
yeah, I know Fred and Digshake is the one this time.
Yes.
Tomorrow night at 11 Eastern on Speed Gaming with myself and Asginos on commentary.
Yeah, be sure to catch that one. There's going to be another one right before that on Speed Gaming at 9:30 Eastern between Matrick and Crystal Saver, which is going to be another fantastic race. And then there will be one at 8 o'clock on JamEvil's channel between Zarby89 and Epic Yoshi 64. Those guys fighting for I believe their first win. So both of them obviously wanting to get that to keep their chances alive. So be sure to catch those races. We do need commentators for the 8 o'clock race. So if you are available, go sign up for that.
It's a great thing to do, by the way. It's so much fun.
Yes, do not be shy. You will not regret it if you do commentary. I promise.
Absolutely not. It's an absolute blast. I won't be available until I don't know exactly when I'll be getting home, but it's later in the night, so that's why I saw that one. And for 11 Eastern, with us being Central Time, I thought, okay, I
the best time.
It's Central Time is for winners. But,
totally agree.
But yeah, certainly a great night of races tonight. Some great variety. We had the super quick seed here with Eunos. We had the 9 of Doom. It sounded like in the one with Czar and Rob Draven, and then a nice little one in the middle between Adirondack Rick and the Seawolf. Sounded like a really nice race there as well. And there was a couple of races. There's some this afternoon as well.
Yeah, there was a bunch going on today. We had so there were a lot. We had the Random Effect Dragon Dark race earlier, and then the Victon Dr. J race before that by a couple hours. So lots of VODs to check out for a Monday. So make sure that you catch up on those when you can.
Yeah, that's how I got into this a year ago. It may not sound very glamorous, but this could be you next time. But yeah, a lot of great races today. More great races tomorrow. I think is there 1 or 2 on the schedule currently for Wednesday as well?
We've got 3. We had a
3.
reschedule from,
That's right.
from tomorrow. We've got Janice Zeal and Zaire at 8. Amazing Toaster and Johan Howitzer at 9. And Zeb Gidney and Jay Coper at 11, all in the Fail Eastern time. We currently do not have any restreamers for those. I'm sure Jam will pick up if he can. If not, go sign up. We will need restreamers. I know Jam does a lot of work with that and sometimes needs a break. So give the man a break. And thanks to the Dave, for picking up this restream here tonight, as we had a trifecta and had to spread them out. So, be sure to shoot him a follow both of our racers, and make sure that you follow my co-commentator, Liquid Husband, who is champ as always.
Oh, and please follow the stat man and overall awesome Zelda player at Genos as well. Well, you got anything else, man?
I think that'll wrap it up for tonight. Get some sleep and get ready for some awesome Zelda action tomorrow. But thank you, everybody, for hanging out.
Absolutely. It's been a blast. Thanks, guys.